Welcome into Unscripted. I'm Kristen Clark here with my guys, Kendall and Hunter. And we've got a game coming up on Saturday. The Mountaineers are coming to town to take on TCU, and someone else is coming too.
Who's coming?
College Game Day.
This
and
is
we're all
a big
hyped.
deal.
This is a huge
The
deal.
last time College Game Day was here was in 2009.
True.
TCU was in the Mountain West Conference. We were playing Utah. A lot has happened since then.
A lot has happened.
There has
since
been
then.
some major changes since then.
Oh, but we were number 4 in the country at that point. But I feel like this game could take us to the next level.
Do you feel like this team is better than the last time we were in College Game Day?
That's tough. That's tough. It's two completely different.
Well, we could talk about the bowl games that TCU's been to since then. Hunter, we were talking about the other day.
Yeah, I mean, we've been since then to the Fiesta Bowl, got the Rose Bowl in 2010.
Joined the Big 12 Conference.
Yep, I mean, that was huge to move from the Mountain West into the Big 12. Really helped TCU's brand, I think, just get bigger nationally.
Oh, I 100% agree. And the thing is, College Game Day, like when it comes to your town, that validates your squad, completely validates it. And this is going to be Lee Corso's 300th time he's put on a mascot's head.
And also Kirk Herbstreit will be there, and he's one of the few guys that has had faith in our Frogs since the start.
He really has. I think he predicted us to win the Big 12, correct?
He did.
Okay, that's a huge plus because
It
his value, his opinion obviously is valuable.
Very
But
respectful.
if we want to take on the next level, College Game Day is a great start. So I'm glad it's here. And this campus, the vibes around here are insane.
There's
Everyone's
a campfire, or what, no, a camp out the night before.
there is a camp
Camp out
out
the
There
night
will not be a
before.
campfire
No,
at
no
the camp
campfire.
You're
out.
covering that, right?
Unfortunately.
You're covering that,
Yeah.
right?
I
they'll
am
be
covering
there.
that.
Okay.
There's what, like a movie at 3:30 in the morning?
Yes.
Or midnight or something. People are camping out for this.
Yeah, I know.
This is huge. It's going to be on from 8 to 11 on ESPN, obviously. And so you can watch College Game Day, or if you're in Fort Worth and you want to go, you might want to get there somewhat early to get a spot.
Somewhat
Although-
early? I mean, really
Really
early. People are
early.
camping out at what time? They could be allowed at
Like
like
midnight?
6.
they could go at midnight, right?
when it
Right, yeah.
opens.
When
Go
midnight is when
midnight.
they can start actually camping out.
Okay. But I heard people are waking up at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to just make sure they have the best poster around so they'd be seen nationally, maybe make Twitter for like Barstool Sports or anything like that. So they
I'm
get that
excited to see
recognition.
some of these signs.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. That's exactly what I'm hyped about.
Going to see like a Baylor one with how many ever losses they have for the L.
For the
Just
L.
Baylor.
Oh, that will be, that's very clever, very clever.
And so that's exciting. Also, we could talk about the game itself, TCU versus West Virginia. So TCU's ranked 8th right now in the top 25 poll, and West Virginia is ranked 23rd. So this is one of the few top 25 matchups of the week. Also in the
I think it's
AP,
the only top 25
Is it?
matchup
Is
this
it?
week.
Yeah,
I
I
know
think so.
in
It's
the
only
top
that.
25 we have Oklahoma, and that's OSU's 15th,
No,
Yeah.
true.
and that's
Yes.
it for the Big 12. So breaking down this game, what should we expect?
Well, both of these teams came out before the season unranked. So the expectations were low coming into the season. But now both of these teams have caught fire. But TCU is on the verge of greatness right
Their
now. The
offense
verge
is
of
firing on
greatness.
all cylinders right now.
All cylinders they're firing. And if we want to make a statement for the College Football Playoff Committee, this is the game against a ranked West Virginia team. We're at home. Well, I know we had a bye week. People are going to say, oh, can they bring that same intensity they brought in
Well,
Stillwater?
and it takes us one step closer because the big game's going to be OU. Because
Exactly.
they're ranked 3rd.
Exactly.
Well,
But we
they're
got to
good.
take it 1 week at a time.
Well, I think the plus of actually coming off of a bye is you don't have all that hype of TCU jumping into the top 10.
We
That's
moved up
true,
a spot,
true.
and we didn't even
That's
do
true. We
anything.
did move up a spot. Thank
went
you,
from 9 to
Washington
8.
State, for knocking off USC. But so the fact that just jumping into the top 25, that hype I don't think is there anymore. So it's giving them time to cool down and refocus. So I think that's going to be huge this time around.
And Kenny Hills, he's gaining our trust each week as it goes on.
And that run game. The
Yes.
run
Darius
game.
Anderson, he
T-
is doing well.
So TCU is actually leading the Big 12 in rush offense, and West Virginia is right behind them. Now, the big difference, however, West Virginia has the second worst ranked run defense in the Big 12 behind Baylor. TCU is number 1. So I think that's going to be the tale of these two teams in this game. Who's going to be able to run the ball and who isn't?
That's what we've been doing the entire year. We're spreading the defense and we're controlling the clock. In this tandem, because Kyle Hicks is going to be coming back,
Yeah.
this could be dangerous. I mean, WVU just gave up a league high for them of rushing yards for 291 against Kansas. So if Darius Anderson
who's averaging 6 yards per carry. So whenever he gets the ball, he's going 6 yards on average this season.
So
I think now we're going to finally see the big 70-yard run for a score that we've been waiting to see since the UT game of last year. That's going to happen this game.
hopefully I think we'll control the clock, but Kenny is going to be pressured. This defense is not afraid to go after it. They could blitz from all around. They are known for their safety blitzes. They are not shy away from the blitz. And I'll tell you one thing, if Kenny Hill is going to be tested with one game about how he can throw that ball deep, it's got to be this game.
Especially because it's a battle of the quarterbacks. I mean, Kenny Hill, he's been doing great, but Will Grier, he's ranked 17th nationally right now. He's a
stud.
legitimate
Stud.
deep ball threat. He is 17th in the country because right now he's at 1,374 yards. He's doing really well, and that's where TCU's vulnerable.
True.
I honestly think Kenny Hill's going to throw for over 300 yards this game, and I'll tell you why. West Virginia has a young secondary, and so what's going to happen? TCU gets the run game going, do a play action, safeties bite, you got something big wide open down the field. I think that's what's going to get Kenny most of his yards is on those big plays.
Oh, I know. He'll control the ball and hopefully doesn't turn the ball over. But what I want to really focus on is Justin Crawford, their running back. He led the Big 12 in rushing yards last year, and he's a stud. He's kind of like the prototype of Darius Anderson, very explosive, but he's not that typical like big bruiser back. So if we want to control him, that is going to be a plus already. And we cannot come out in this game flat. We cannot. That's the one thing we cannot do, because if we do, then we'll be caught on our toes, and who knows what will happen, because we do not want to be playing from behind, especially at home.
And if our secondary prepares like they did for OSU, I think that it shouldn't be as big of an issue. I'm predicting TCU's going to win.
Exactly. I think so too.
So, but I want to also focus on Will Grier because he is second.
He won Big 12 Newcomer of the Week for the first 2 weeks in a row.
So he's proven to be a solid quarterback, and he's second in the league right now in points for. So he's like 48% of the points they are scoring. Also, Mason Rudolph was number 1 in points.
That's a good point.
And we did pretty good against him.
And
So
Patterson has always said, you give me a veteran secondary, I'm going to cause some problems for people. And they did it against Mason Rudolph, and I think they're going to do it again this week.
And I have a message for the TCU student fan base. I have a quick message.
Oh, let's hear it.
College Game Day is here in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yes, it is.
We have to show out for this. This is where we make our name known across the country. We're number 9, and let's prove all
We're
the
number
doubters
8.
wrong. Number 8.
8.
We're going to prove them wrong. I'll tell you one thing. So show out, let's get loud, and let's get this
You going to be there?
100%.
You going to be there?
100%.
Of course. Are you going to
sleeping?
be there?
Oh, I'm going to be. I'm getting up at 4 a.m.
Oh, brutal.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll be there.
We will.
We hope you are too.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we got a little roast going on.
We do.
So,
Boom roasted.
boom roast. We'll be right back to Unscripted.
Welcome back to Unscripted, and why don't you gather around the campfire with us? We're going
hot.
to have a
Real hot.
roast. It's getting toasty in here. I've got my marshmallow. I'm here for the fun. I think my guys have someone in particular they want to roast today.
That we do. And for me, I have Baker Mayfield.
Boom roasted.
Boom roasted.
I wanted to roast this
Look
guy.
at that. It's almost through his eye. Who did that?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I had to make the head like pretty big because Baker
Yeah.
himself has a huge head.
Ah,
Yeah.
good one.
And I figured I'm going to roast this guy because no one else will.
You are the one to roast Baker Mayfield.
I am the
We
one to
have
roast Baker Mayfield. You know, at the Baylor game telling the Baylor players, oh, you forgot who your daddy was. I'm your daddy. I'm going to have to spank you.
Spanked.
First off, he was asking for his team to get beat then. And I'll tell you what, if I was Matt Rule, I would have told my defensive lineman, if you guys sack him, you turn around and spank him. I don't care if you get a
I would have
flag.
loved to see that.
And
I don't
the
care if
best
you
part is
get a
that
flag.
Baylor almost did.
I know, they almost did, and it would have added insult to injury if Baker.
They only won by 8 points.
I know,
There he is.
Baylor was driving too. But and I've said this for a while, I think Baker Mayfield is Johnny Manziel 2.0. I think his head, if it doesn't shrink a little bit,
It barely fit on the marshmallow.
Exactly. If his head doesn't shrink a little bit, then I don't think he's going to make it much further.
I mean, this is-
in the NFL.
This is shortly after he
need to rotate
planted the OU flag in the middle of Ohio State Field.
The middle of their
Oh,
O.
In the middle of it.
And our photo of Baker is courtesy of the Fayetteville Police Department.
Oh yeah, is
Yes.
that a mugshot?
That's his- he doesn't look too
This is
happy.
Baker's mugshot from the Arkansas incident.
And the hilarious thing is he said, in quote, didn't mean for it to be disrespectful.
Now should we remind our listeners,
Excuse me?
our viewers about the
What?
incident?
Oh, but the
Arkansas incident?
Arkansas incident. Yeah, he tried to run away from the police after a drunken altercation. And I want to say, I think my favorite college game day sign I've seen this year is Baker Mayfield, 1 rushing yard, Fayetteville Police Department, 1 tackle for loss.
All right, what
classic.
else do we have for our campfire today?
Okay, it's getting
do we have
too
a
hot
roast?
around here. Jesus,
I think we need a
fire's
marshmallow.
burning.
Oh man.
Gosh, all right, let me pick mine up. All right, here we go. Uh-oh. Who's this?
Boom roasted.
Boom roasted.
Ooh.
It's Mr. Cam Newton.
is.
Cam.
On a stick.
Cam.
On a stick.
What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Kristen, want to enlighten us on what he said?
Yeah, I think Hunter said it best. Paraphrased.
Do you want me to do my impersonation?
I think we should.
All right.
Because we don't have video right now.
It's kind of funny seeing a female talking about routes.
And is it funny?
Cam.
Is it really funny?
Oh, Cam, it's not funny.
She
It's
was
not
doing her
funny.
job.
She was doing her job, and Cam Newton obviously didn't figure that out. He doesn't think sometimes. We've seen him in the past make bonehead mistakes.
I mean, there was the incident after the Super Bowl where he walked out on the reporters,
Yeah.
and he seemed very immature in that case.
So I think bottom line is he made a mistake. It's happened before in the league.
Now
he
he-
did issue an apology.
he did issue an
I saw
apology.
it. It was on Twitter. He did it via social media.
My biggest
course.
thing with that is his actions have
Actions
to match.
speak louder than words.
Yes, and his
He
actions
said it
have to
already.
follow up on his words.
They
True.
do. So
So-
he's in the campfire. We're roasting him today.
Sorry, Cam.
He is in the NFL. This is a college focused show, but it is something that I think is overall bigger than the NFL in general because they can definitely learn from this.
Bye,
so
Cam.
he's in the fire.
Hey, let's just keep him in there. Hey,
All
sorry,
right.
Cam.
You're one of those people that
RIP.
likes your marshmallows like scorched, huh?
Oh yes, it's the best.
Mine's doing pretty well so
I don't
far.
like my marshmallows.
I've been
like that.
rotating mine.
Am I the only one who likes the marshmallow scorched?
No, I want them the perfect crisp of golden brown.
See,
on it.
I
don't want to bite
don't
into
have that
straight
kind of
nothing.
patience. I don't have that patience.
Okay.
Do you bring
It
chocolate?
is tough. It's tough.
I thought you were supposed to bring the chocolate.
What about the graham crackers?
Oh,
That was Kendall.
Yeah.
my bad, guys. Pour one
We
out
got
for
the
Cam.
sticks.
Pour one out for Cam.
All right, well, that's all we have for today's roast. Hope you enjoyed it, and
Boom
we hope to
roasted.
see you at College Game Day, right, Kendall?
College game day. Let's get ready.
I'll be there. You guys better be too.
You're watching Unscripted, and we will see you next time.
Go Frogs.